Kimber America, new to the channel. We appreciate the support from Kimber. They sent us 2 pistols this month to review. And first up is the Kimber Rapide, and this is the Heat variant. Let's get ready to shoot it. Y'all, so Kimber Rapide Heat. This is a 5-inch threaded barrel, optics ready, single stack 1911, chambered in God's caliber, of course, in 45. Before I get too far in the review of the Rapide Heat, let me tell you a little bit about what I do here. We're a soft goods manufacturer. We specialize in plate carriers, placards, chest rigs, belts, a full line of Safari holster mods, holster accessories to enhance the performance of your Safari duty holster, all which you can find on our website at rdrgear.com. The Kimber Rapide, the Rapide is the model. Heat is the trim package on the Rapide. They have 7 different models. You can see all those on their website. There's some really cool configurations. One of the things I like about this pistol is that it's the Rapide line and all the different colorways. It gives you, the consumer, something different than the traditional black on black or chrome on black, etc. Right? That's kind of got out of the traditional, one-way only mindset of the 1911 and gives the consumer something new. The Ice model, the couple of other variants they have, the new red here on the Heat, really does give a long-standing 1911 brand a very modern approach to attract different shooters. Because let's face it, when COVID hit, there were a whole different segment of consumers came out the woodwork. Not everybody is looking for the plain Springfield, Ed Brown, Kimber, Colt, whatever, just a plain black 1911. And this one here gives you some cool styling and a lot of cool features for a single stack, optic ready 45. Let's go ahead and break it down. So let's start with the slide. 5-inch government profile slide, threaded barrel, thread protector, suppressor height sights. It is an optics ready platform. The optics plates do come RMR, Vortex, and the K models, which is their 407, 507s, etc. Plates do not come with the pistol. In my opinion, if I'm building a optic ready pistol, I think you just make a plate, put it in the bag, make it for RMR footprint, and call it a day. Anybody wants something outside of an RMR footprint, they can use the QR code or purchase a plate after the fact. Because everybody has, in my opinion, probably has either an RMR or has an RMR footprint patterned red dot for their gun. So likelihood of you having an RMR is pretty high these days. There is a bit of an overhang due to the plate system. Not a big deal to me. We've been running RMRs and red dots on narrow pistols forever now. So slide cocking trace in the front, on the rear. It does have lightning cuts here on the slide. It gives you some cool aesthetics of the pistol. The top here, lightning cuts, I think those are probably more aesthetic than anything else. They don't really have any function. Serrations are pretty decent. You do have suppressor height sights for your plate co-witness. They are a 3-dot white sight, nothing to write home about, but they actually do clear the rear of the sight here. So you do have some benefit of having a red dot and a plate and a sight tall enough to actually coat into the front. Barrel is match grade 5-inch DLC coated barrel. As I mentioned earlier, thread protector. Shooting it, I noticed that this thread protector I can show you guys this. Does not have a rubber bushing inside the thread protector. So just be aware that when you're shooting this thing, you could probably put a little bit of Vibratite maybe, something that's not gonna get hard, maybe the gel, blue gel Loctite if you're worried about it. But just be aware that, give it a quick snug. Even when I snugged it down today, it just came loose. Now it didn't come loose to the point where it threaded off, but when I went back to the bench to load magazines, I did notice that the thread cap or the protector was loose. So just be aware of that. You don't wanna shoot downrange. Dinging a thread is a quick way not to use a suppressor in the future. All right, guys, let's talk about the frame. Nothing too crazy here. A couple cool features on the frame. 3/4 rail section, so any of your weapon lights, lasers, etc. Of course. It's not a full length rail, so you have a short dust cover here. The finish is the Kim Pro 2. It's kind of Kimber's DLC, so to speak. The front and back of the frame here, the front and back strap, there is a pattern here they call a Stiplex. Not smooth and it's not aggressive. It's kind of in between, but I do like how it looks. The back strap has a little bit of a different texture, which I prefer. The back is a little more aggressive than the front. You do have a integrated mag well, ambi safeties, and let's talk about these grips. Today, shooting this gun, as much as I like the red, the grips are gonna go. Because now this may not be the case for everybody's hand size, but for my hand size, and I don't know if I can do it for you. So if you notice when I grip this pistol, roll 3 fingers over, and I'm assuming it's a design feature, right? The tips of these 3 fingers land in these 3 cutouts right here, right? Well, if I grip the pistol in a normal fashion, and I'll give you guys a few minutes here to look at this, you can see how much of an indentation and texture that gives without even shooting the gun. Granted, it is 45 and it's not gonna, blow you through the drywall or knock some dude down, but when you run 3-4 mags out of this pistol and these 3 fingers are landing in these 3 cutouts, the little separations here, the stippling, the way they've done this G10, it's sharp. It will start to make those fingertips a little bit, you'll notice it, all right? You don't feel the cheese grater here on the front strap, but you feel it as soon as you lock on that pistol. Now, did it work? Absolutely it worked. Was it comfortable after 5 mags? No. So that's something to be aware of in that. But again, it is a very cool aesthetic to the pistol. I'm just not a fan of where these are, and I understand the concept behind them. I just would prefer to have a full-filled G10 grip panel that maybe had a more aggressive texture all the way down. But again, that can be easily changed out. Granted, the red trigger, red grips, but that is what it is. Trigger is very good in this pistol. This is the Kimber Pro V2 aluminum trigger. Trigger pull is just right around 4.5 pounds. Very clean, very well done, and the gun shoots very, very well with that trigger. I had no complaints whatsoever. And again, it does match the red G10 grip panel and the red trigger. I don't have any issue with the curvature or the shape, but again, I know you guys can change these out and do different shoes if you choose to. That's up to you. Magazines. This is probably where I'm a little bit disappointed in the pistol as a whole. The gun comes with one 8-round magazine. It doesn't come with some of the base pad. You have to put the base pad together yourself. I would have liked to see, for the price point of this pistol, I would have liked to see 2 magazines. These, I can't remember who makes, I think these are Power Mags, but as you guys know, whenever I have a 1911, I always upgrade to the Wilson magazines. Because they just have if you notice, the followers are a little bit, this is a convex follower, and this is a flat face follower. I just feel the Wilson magazines are a little better. They also have the filler here, the filler lip here, so you guys will notice in the bottom of the pistol, the little notch right here, once you drop the magazine in, it has that slot for that magazine, and it just gives you a little bit of extra around the base of the gun. So when you do seat that magazine, you're not gonna have to worry about it. This magazine, once you get it out the box, if you put it in the gun, you kind of have to seat it. And even when it's with the base pad on there, it's still almost flush fit. So that's just something that you guys can be aware of. Another option for 45s, if you guys are gonna own these guns, and which I think could be a benefit for Kimber to consider including with the pistol, is one 10-rounder. Right? These are Chip McCormick 10-round power mags. These are a great option because it does give you 10 full magazine rounds, and they all fit nice and clean in the gun. It just gives you a better option in regards to going to a class with a 1911, having 5 of these things loaded in your bag with a bunch of standard magazines. It's just a great addition as far as mag capacity goes to make it through using a single action pistol. Pros and cons. Pros, I think the Rapide lineup, and I mentioned earlier, the Rapide is the model, and there are different trim packages for each of the pistols. I like where they're going because it gives some pretty unique out there trim patterns for the classic 1911 pistol. You also have the Rapide Heat in 9mm as well. You also have a non-threaded barrel option as well. There's definitely some cool patterns on there. The magazine, it is sad that you only get one magazine. That's on it, that's nor here nor there. That's just the way the marketing is. The grip panels, definitely going to change these out regardless. Again, this issue that I have with the grip panel, that is probably my hand size. That may not be for you. So again, try that before, take that with a grain of salt. Other than that, the pistol, very, very well done. MSRP, don't let MSRP scare you because many of these companies who are marketing a pistol for MSRP is not selling it at MSRP. There's either a MAP pricing, if there's not a MAP pricing, then there's a dealer discretion pricing, and you just have to find the best deal for yourself. These pistols, what did I write down? So it's $19.20 for this gun without a red dot, without a plate. You're getting an all steel 1911 pistol. Now, granted, at that $19.20 price point, would it hurt to have a second magazine? No. Would it hurt to include the plate? Probably not. But again, you're not paying $19.20 out there in the wild. So do your due diligence, look at the Kimber Rapide Heat, look at what trim package you might want. But if you are looking for something different, with a very cool slide design, lightning cuts, different grip textures, color matching grips and triggers, the different trim packages they offer on the website, then this pistol's for you. And you're gonna probably find this, I'm gonna say, maybe 15 out there in the street, which is about normal for a single stack 1911 of this quality, especially optics ready. And again, you can get your RMR plate, there's a Vortex plate, and then the Holosun K footprints, which are the narrower red dot. But again, that is something that falls in a very competitive price point for a very good shooting gun, a very accurate shooting gun. And again, this is the first Kimber I've had in my possession since I left the retail side of the gun space back in '98. So a lot of you guys probably don't know, when in 97 maybe, when they first dropped, Kimber was dropping guns back in the late 90s with features on a pistol that you could only find through a custom gunsmith, right? You couldn't walk into a store. Springfield didn't have it, Colt didn't have it, Para Ordnance didn't have it. Kimber made a very badass pistol for a very, very good price point back then. And you got all the cool Gucci features you wanted before all the cool Gucci features were a thing as they are today. A little side note story. Back in 2007 or 8, I think it was, I can't remember exactly. I came home from Florida and I took a pistol class with Travis Haley at the PMA range here in Utah. Day one, we showed up, Travis was there. I had known Travis from previous classes. He was running an old Kimber. I mean, an original Kimber. I had brought out the first gun that I had kind of tuned and slide the frame fit, trigger job, sights. It was a Springfield pistol that I had Gucci'd up. And when I got to the class, I was the only guy in the class running single action. And then I see Travis pull up and he's got his single, oh, cool, right? This is gonna be good. Travis's front sight comes off like 2 hours into the first day of class. so he switches to a Glock. But the great thing about that class was I got so much additional coaching from Travis on the 1911 platform. It really made a great class. I ended up winning 2 of the Pays to Be a Winner challenges. Travis shot my gun at the very end of the day. I mean, we had some very close times. I ended up, again, being the single action guy. I think I brought 16 single action 16 8-round magazine with me for the 45. I still couldn't keep up. My buddy Rob and Shane were next to me in the line, and they were helping me load magazines in between reps. So again, that's just a cool little story on the single action 1911. But again, Kimber is doing some really cool things. Check out the website, look what they have to offer. And as I mentioned earlier, full disclosure, Kimber did send these guns out to us for review. And this is a great option for you guys who are wanting the single action, single stack, red dot cut. All your boxes are checked here. So check it out. Until next time, guys, be well. Take care.